Hello everyone. My name is Adejumobi Joshua from Nigeria. I worked on improving large language models for question answering tasks in local languages like Yoruba. I was motivated to work on this project because I noticed that when large language models like ChatGPT, once they are asked questions in a local language like Yoruba, they don't give appropriate answers. So that is my main reason for working on this project. Before moving on to the details of the project, a little background about me. I'm a recent first class graduate of computer science from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta in Nigeria. I was a previous intern at Secob Analytics where I got the first-hand knowledge of large language models, and I aim to pursue a career as a data scientist due to my very strong background in data analytics and machine learning. Now to the full details of the project. So the first thing I did was to scrape data from a Yoruba blog, which contains different information about the culture and the language of the Yoruba people in Nigeria. So after scraping this data with beautiful soup, I moved on to use a language agnostic birth sentence embedding to embed my text, right? I made use of this model because it has been trained on 109 different languages, Yoruba inclusive. So that was why I used it to generate the embeddings, and it worked really well. So after doing this, I stored the embedded text in a Chroma database. So with this, then using a retrieval method such that when database is queried, the GPT's response was improved. So major topics in this for this project are natural language processing, retrieval augmented generation, which involve the use of external data, right, to improve the knowledge of language models and make web scraping. So this was my first time web scraping an unstructured data from a website. Majorly, I scraped tables, but it was a good learning experience, and this is also the first time I'm performing retrieval augmented generation. It was all a good learning experience altogether. So this is an extracted portion of my code for the web scraping part. So majorly what I did was to look at the tags on the website, inspect the website, and then I look at the tags that contains the data that I needed to scrape. Then after this, I noticed some unusual characters after scraping the data. So I had to remove them and replace them with an empty string. So and I also saved them to a text file. So this is the retrieval augmented part. To get the full code, I'm going to attach the link of the full code on GitHub to this presentation. So I asked a question here. Kí ni ìtumọ̀ orúkọ Ògúnmúyìwá? So in English it means what is the name, what is the meaning of the name Ògúnmúyìwá? So this is with retrieval augmented generation. So you can see that because we now have a database which contains information about the Yoruba language, culture, and names, right? So it is giving a good answer. Ìtumọ̀ orúkọ Ògúnmúyìwá ni Ògún tó nípejúwe war tàbí battle ní èdè Yorùbá, àti Múyìwá tó nípejúwe brought this. So Ògúnmúyìwá means Ògún brought this. So it is giving a very war brought this, rather it is giving a very good response. But let's see what happens when we do this without the use of having a database somewhere, an external data. You can see that orúkọ Ògúnmúyìwá jẹ́ orúkọ tí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nípa, so it's not giving a good answer at all. So another example is I asked another question here that kí ni Yorùbá ń pè ní ìgbéyàwó, like what do the Yorùbás, what do they call wedding? So you can see it's telling us Yorùbá ń pe ìgbéyàwó ní àsìkò tí ẹbí ọkọ àti ìyàwó máa ń parapọ̀. Ìyàwó ṣíṣe jẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò pín sí àárín ọkọ àti ìyàwó nìkan, meaning it doesn't end between just the wife and the husband. It also includes the family members. So without rag, you can see that it is not really giving a good answer. So although the retrieval augmented generation model has made notable improvements, we can see in our response, but it still has certain limitations. Some questions were not answered, but most questions were answered correctly, but some were not answered correctly. So, but however, it is better, right? So, when we don't have any external it is better than not having any external data. So these are the links to the GitHub file, and then the dataset script. I published it as a new data set on Kaggle. So that will be all from me. And thank you very much for listening.